Hello YouTubers, this is cessnaace back again with another DVD extravaganza video. Today I received 3 packages in the mail containing DVDs. One from Sinister Cinema contained 15 DVDs, so I decided to go ahead and show those first. Now I also received a package from Something Weird Video containing 3 DVDs and one from Amazon UK which contained 1. Now, yesterday I had received 2 packages containing 7 box sets, but I decided to go ahead and show these first. And as I mentioned at Patreon/cessnaace, link in the description box, I have ordered a homebrew game for a certain Atari console. And yes, you saw me using my right hand, which contains the finger that I broke in 2 places, here and here. Now, the hand specialist that I saw told me that the bruising was caused by a buildup of blood, and but he had good news for me in that I didn't need surgery, I didn't need stitches, I didn't need pins. I just needed to exercise my hand regularly. If I don't do it regularly enough, it stiffens up. But as you can see, I have full range of movement, motion with the fingers of this hand. It hurts on the pinky, but I can move it. So it obviously doesn't have a compound fracture of any kind. Alright, now this is, if I didn't already mention it, about take 10 or 12 or something, because after I had started recording, the compressor for the refrigerator started, and then our cat, Puddin', started eating over there, but he has since stopped and the compressor has since shut off. So the only thing you might be hearing apart from me is this little fan that I have running. And it's pointed directly at me at the same angle as the microphone. It's not pointed in any way towards the microphone, so you might not be able to hear it. I hope you don't. Now, since I have this 2 monitor setup, I can see the output of the camera in this monitor, and in this monitor, go ahead and make it full screen, I have Sinister Cinema's online catalog. Now, to avoid having to jump back and forth between different genres and so forth, I selected this one particular tab, which I'll get to in a moment. Well, this first case is damaged, unfortunately. In the past, when this has happened, I've just contacted Greg Luce of Sinister Cinema and informed him that the disc is not affected in any way, the artwork is not affected in any way, the case is just broken. So he has sent me a brand new case, and I might do that with this one. As you can see over here, you can hear that it is defective. If you look, well, you can see that it's not that big. It's in a big, heavy, sturdy box that was loaded with shipping corn, and they always use the shipping corn inside. They put 1 inside each case. Interestingly, I found this at the top, and the brake is at the bottom. Yes, you can see this is alternative 3. See if I can remember the plot that I looked at. This is from 1970 something. And the plot for this film reads like a couple of online conspiracies thrown together, but you didn't have online conspiracies back in the 70s. But you did have conspiracies. Anyway, it turns out, from the plot that I read, that the space race between the USSR and the USA is all a hoax, as is the arms race and everything else. You see, they are working together to build a base on the moon. The moon landings were also hoaxed. Doesn't that sound familiar? As a cover event for them building their base on the moon, which is going to be used to launch ships to Mars. Why? If I remember correct, I was going to say why they would need to do that. I don't know. Then I think I seem to remember that during the time that this movie is taking place, the period this movie is taking place in, there is a ice age upon us, and so I guess we need to planet hop. Anyway, alternative 3. Don't know what the first two alternatives were. I looked up every one of these movies on IMDb so that I can make up index cards. And I made out rough index cards, but they were very rough because at the time I could not write. But now I can. Okay, these are put in alphabetical order, but it seems they got out of alphabetical order slightly. This is And Suddenly It's Murder, which, as you can see, also went by a different title. I'm not remembering the plot on this one. Generally, what Sinister Cinema likes to do is to use poster art, whether it's domestic or foreign, for their covers. When they can't find a poster, they do a frame grab and use it in that style. Okay, alternative 3, And Suddenly It's Murder. Alright. This is a British film from, if I remember correctly, the early 30s, it would have to be. It stars Leslie Banks and Greta Gent. The Arsenal Stadium Mystery. A G&S film. Released by General Film Distributors Limited. All these other cases, as I believe I mentioned, are in perfect condition. Alright. This is one of several films that I ordered that are European in origin. It's quite common in the 60s for these films, this genre, of spy espionage thrillers to come out of Europe. And I'm trying to remember if Henry Silva was one of the there were a handful of American actors who would appear in these films playing a lead role, and then all the other characters would be played by Europeans. This is called Assassination. Now, underneath the title right here, it has the original title, which I could push in and show you, but it would go way out of focus, and so what would be the point? Okay. High-level tension and lively, suspenseful entertainment, starring Gene Seberg, Jean-Paul Belmondo, Gert Frobe, and Jean Becker. Now, this was obviously after 1963 because it says that Goldfinger villain Gert Frobe. He was also the villain in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but, well, the male villain, the chief male villain. Anna Quayle played the evil queen, and of course you had the child catcher, just played by, believe it or not, I don't know if you would call him a ballerina if they're male, but he was a ballet star. He played the child catcher in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And Gene Becker. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is one of those films I saw in the theater. I have it on VHS. I have it in widescreen on Laserdisc, in widescreen on DVD. And I got to be a Gert Frobe fan and a Terry Thomas fan at one point after watching It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. So I started collecting every film that those two actors were in. Did I say Gene Becker? Was the director. I didn't already mention that. So that is an example of a poster that they would use. This one is an English language poster. This did get released in the US, so there you go. Theatrically, I mean. And a lot of the films that were European in origin that were released in the US, they were generally released in an English dub version rather than with a subtitled version. So this is most probably English dubbed. Although, watch me be wrong. Okay, this is Belladonna. This stars Dorothea Paul, Betty Williams, and Georgie Carey. Born of the Sea. I'll be getting to these in a moment. This is also a recent release from them, and I believe it's one of these Euro spy espionage thriller films. I think Larry Parks was an American actor, also with Constance Smith and Lisa Donnelly. Screenplay by John Gilling and Willis Goldbeck, directed by John Gilling. The walls of a whole city were closing in, and now he was running for his life. Cross up. A mighty epic of the Iron Road, starring Louis Wilhelm, Jean Arthur, and Robert Armstrong. Recorded in RCA Photophone system. And it has the Radio Pictures logo on the poster, aka RKO Radio Pictures, the studio that later became Desilu, which was later bought by Gulf and Western, which had just purchased the studio right next to it, Paramount. So all they had to do was knock down a wall to form and change just a little bit of the lettering, changed it from Paramount to Paramount Studios. Anyway, Danger Lights. And there is the Radio Pictures logo. I have a lot of RKO Radio Pictures movies on Laserdisc, because Turner Home Entertainment released a ton of them through Image Entertainment. But they probably licensed them to Image Entertainment. Okay, now this one has a foreign language poster for the cover art, but it has an English title on the spine, Fame and the Devil. And if I remember correctly, this is about a group of people who make a deal with the devil for fame and how it goes awry, as such deals always do. Okay, now we're getting to these. I have called up the drive-in double features. Let's see. They released a whole bunch of new ones this last batch of new releases, and this is one of them. This is drive-in double feature number 184. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this format of Sinister Cinemas, what they do is they take two films that were paired together in drive-ins, or probably were paired together in drive-ins, or maybe were paired together in drive-ins, and they pair them together, and they include intermissions with snack bar jingles. Let's go to the lobby. Anyway, those sorts of things. You could watch from start to finish and see those in the middle, or you can select each film separately. Now, both of these films are from 1974. The first one is The Death's Head Virgin. Gaynor's treasure hunter who finds a big haul, a sunken ship in the Pacific. However, the ship is guarded by the vengeful spirit of an ancient princess. She stalks totally naked around the beaches and possesses Gaynor's partner's soul, sending him on a murder rampage. See, that would be Jack Gaynor. A Great Cheapie. Norman Foster directed. Several bikini-clad babes flaunt their goods. Rated R. Nudity, violence. Nice color from 16mm. Eerie Midnight Horror Show. Also from 1975, aka The Sexorcist. Stella Carmachia, Chris Avram. Lucretia Love. A beautiful woman purchases an ancient statue. In a shocking scene, it comes to life and rapes her. She then becomes possessed and is taken to a convent where an exorcism priest is brought in to free her. The climax is shocking and there's a lot of nudity. All in all, though, this is a well-made exorcism movie, recommended for Euro horror fans. Rated R, color from 35mm. That is drive-in double feature number 184. Let's go to the lobby. Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? It was scrolling rapidly through entry after entry after entry. Okay, this is drive-in double feature number 185. Both of these are from 1966. The Murder Clinic, widescreen. Williamsburger, Barbara Wilson, Mary Young, and one name I can't pronounce, and Harriet White. Dr. Vance owns a clinic for the mentally ill located in a gloomy forest. He is surrounded by many pretty girls, all of whom he lusts for. Unfortunately, there is also a hooded killer on the ground, slashing people to death with a straight razor. There's also a grotesque club-footed lady living on the upper floor, whom the doctor is trying to cure of a hideously ugly face. This film is great fun and keeps you guessing who the mad killer is. Great color from 35mm. And as I mentioned, in widescreen. The Devil's Mistress, Joan Stapleton, Robert Gregory, Wes Moreland, Douglas Warren, Warren Williams, an Old West horror film about a female vampire who has a passion for unsuspecting cowboys. Named Leigh, L-I-A-H. She is beautiful and bewitching and soon takes revenge on the 4 cowboy thugs who murdered her husband in cold blood. By using her mysterious charm, she spins a web of horrific revenge. Color from 16mm. Okay. Drive-In double feature number 186. Minotaur, Wild Beast of Crete, 1960. These are both from 1960 and both are in widescreen. Okay, King Minos sacrifices the required number of virgins to the monstrous Minotaur. But as his wife is dying, she confesses that their daughter has a twin hidden away to avoid giving her to the Minotaur. The daughter, raised by Minos, then goes all out to land her unknown twin into the clutches of the Minotaur. Theseus, the Greek hero, steps in to save the lost twin. In English, a few spots are in Italian with additional English subtitles. Great color, 35mm. Now, when I looked this up at IMDb, it said that the language was Italian. So I'm thinking perhaps it had begun being dubbed into English for an American release, and at some point they stopped. So hence most of it's in English, or dubbed into English, with some scenes that are in Italian with English subtitles. I have another film from Sinister Cinema that does that. A Lust for Dying. Let's see, this retelling of now's classic vampire tale, Carmilla, is a good one. Strøyberg, that would be Annette Strøyberg, is excellent as the Carmilla character, and Mel Ferrer shines as Karsten. Carmilla's obsession with her friend's engagement leads her into the darkness of a female vampire's tomb. Carmilla is then possessed by the vampire, who then sets out to slay and terrorize Carmilla's acquaintances. The sepia-toned black and white scenes with red blood flowing through are striking, with English subtitles, Technicolor, 35mm. Okay, this is Drive-In double feature number 187. Both films from 1966. The first one in widescreen, The Magic Serpent. All of the actors are Japanese, so I'm not going to even try and read them because I'd probably butcher them. In ancient Japan, a good lord is killed and his throne is taken by a treacherous lord and his sorcerer. Years later, a young prince embarks on a quest for vengeance. An epic battle soon ensues between the prince and sorcerer. Cool. This is a beautiful production, and there are enough giant monsters to make anyone happy, including a dragon and a giant frog. The climactic monster battle is rollicking and great fun in English. Beautiful color from 35mm. And The Witch. Richard Johnson, Rosanna Ceferino Ferrati. A young historian is brought to a magnificent palatial estate to assemble the largely erotic memoirs of a deceased general. There he falls in love with a beautiful witch. Supernatural horror and danger follow in this engaging Euro horror opus, a classy film, both elegant and moody, 16mm. And then, finally, we have Drive-In Double Feature number 188. Two films from 1977, one of which has a reputation for being atrocious. It is supposedly a cheap knockoff of Star Wars. Very cheap, and it would have had to have been if it was released the same year of Star Wars. Star Odyssey. Sharon Baker, Chris Averin. An alien mastermind has picked Earth for annihilation. Earth sends a fleet of starships to fight against the super robots from this far-off galaxy. Lots of pitched space battles with plenty of action. Sounds cool, huh? However, this is one of the schlockiest, cheapest sci-fi movies ever made. Everything about this film is hilariously bad, and therefore a must. Nice color, 16mm. Planet of Dinosaurs. Harvey Shane, Mary Appleseth, Max Thayer, Derna Wild. A lost spaceship lands on a mysterious planet filled with rampaging prehistoric monsters. The crew members have to stave off the giant lizards until they are rescued. The special effects, though, are somewhat primitive, though somewhat primitive, are actually pretty good, say they. Nice color, 16mm. Now, this is the package that arrived. It came with another flyer and another order form and another discount coupon, which you can only use when placing an order through the mail, which I never do. Well, I haven't in several decades, let me put it that way. The invoice with a receipt attached. Now, as I purchased the $98 special, which allows you to buy any 12 titles, DVDs, or books from their Armchair Fiction series, any 12 titles for $98, you add the $98 special to your shopping cart first, and then you start adding to it, and anything after that, they will charge you $8 and no shipping for either the 12 that you make or the additional ones that you make. They do add a $1 shipping and handling fee. Let's see here. So, well, as I recall, the total, see what they do is that the total is made online, and you get sent an invoice via email that has the total before they've deducted everything and made it what it should be. If I remember correctly, it was over $250, but it ended up being $123. So there's that. And today I received a package from Amazon UK containing a DVD and a package from Something Weird Video. which contained 3 DVDs. I had just received a package from them last week that contained 2 DVDs, and they are currently processing an order of 3 more DVDs. And there is Puddin', our newly adopted cat, back eating again. That cat is forever eating. Okay. For those of you who are patrons at Patreon/cessnaace, link in the description box, I greatly appreciate it. It seems, though, lately I have been losing a Patreon supporter every other month or so. I don't know why that is. I do go periods where I'm not posting anything, but then I go through periods where I'm posting a lot. There are currently over 300 entries that I have posted at Patreon/cessnaace, and I haven't been on Patreon that long as a content creator, so who knows. If you would like to support me there, it only takes $1 and you have access to all 300 plus entries that I've made so far, plus all future ones. Those who are able to will see, they can see what I have received so far, what I have ordered, including a homebrew game for a certain Atari console. They know all about that. I linked to a trailer for it, which they can see, play video footage and so forth. So there's that. Okay, I guess I've prattled on long enough, so until next time, stay awesome.